off in Week 9. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Throwing on first down, it's Jackson. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be second and a couple.
I think the last two plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well, what we call those broken plays? You can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those two that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10.
All right, now, lucky 56, lucky 56.
On the counter, it's Henry. And able to get this one all the way up to about the 46-yard line. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
Man open left side, it's Williams. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line, tackled there. They get 14 on that one. That's good for a Baltimore first down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
So the illegal forward pass also costs them a down, and now it's 2nd and long. Now it's Jackson. It's complete. This is Derrick Henry. The Raven passing game getting in sync. Another first down.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
Throwing now, Jackson on first down. Flush to his right. And that'll be incomplete.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
Jackson now on 2nd and 10. Forced out to his left. No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose.
On plays like this when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Steps away to his left. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 15. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. They go play action here on first down. And no, incomplete. Boy, they took a shot there on the first play, tried to start it out with a bang, but it's 2nd down.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
And able to get it across the 20 before they get to him. A gain of 10, good for a Steeler first down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Open receiver, that's Hayden Hurst, the tight end. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. Now a play fake here on first down. Flushed out right. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. They got 29 yards that time. So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 as they've got it to the 28-yard line. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, C.J. Mosley. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. He was looking for a Nunwa there. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. They'll start on the ground. It's Derrick Henry. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. Moving backwards on 1st down, never a good thing. What does that do for the mindset on 2nd down?
Well, it changes your play call, definitely, because as a play call, you're advancing yourself thinking, okay, we're going to get a gain here. Now you've got to go back in reverse, come up with something to pick up not just the yardage lost, but gain a few extra.
Dancing to his left. Incomplete. He was looking to get it to his running back, Lamar Miller, and it's 3rd down.
He kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
He went backwards 5 yards there on 3rd down to bring up 4th. So on 4th down, here's Sam Cook to punt it away. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin them back. The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs. So they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. That's caught over the middle by Hurst. He's at the 40. And he gets all the way down to the 30-yard line. It's a big play there for the Steelers. 45 yards. So the big play has them all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. On 1st down, it's Rudolph. Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. Then it's Clinton Dix with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long.
And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down.
2 sacks last week. Another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
A few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point.
Lucky 56.
Now Jackson back into his end zone. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Well, he leads the NFL in interceptions and nearly added to that total.
Got his hand on it, couldn't quite corral it. It's been a Pro Bowl-type season for him, and the term ball hawk really comes into play, doesn't it?
Yeah, I like that one a lot because teams want to avoid that type of a player, but sometimes you just can't. He just knows where the ball is.
Buying time to his left. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete. Second quarter now. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis with you. It's the Ravens who have the football. They are, however, facing a 4th down situation. Here's Sam Cook now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he's able to get it out quickly, and this is not a bad kick here. And he'll take it on this side of midfield. Look at the spin.
Balance.
A tremendous return there, 39 yards. And this offense is going to be set up with a 1st and 10 inside the 15. A first opportunity for the Steelers in the red zone. It's 1st and 10 at the 14. The give is to Bell. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Le'Veon Bell. Touchdown number 18 on the year. And the Steelers are able to strike for 6. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking, beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And the Ravens taking the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Line of scrimmage, again, the 25, 2nd and 10. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Jackson being chased out left. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down. The Ravens on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This will be 3rd and 5. Here's Jackson to throw. And it's complete. Henry. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. The Ravens get a new set of downs. Give them 17 on that pickup.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
A first down carry for Henry. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. To throw is Jackson. Pressure comes, and the Steelers take him down. T.J. Watt in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. 1st and 2nd down were a disaster. Both went backwards. Now it's 3rd and 18. They need something big. Now Jackson. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Richardson. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. They wind up getting 16, but even that's not quite enough. It's 4th down. Fourth down, here's Jackson. And they hit him as he throws, as this one's going to go straight down to the turf. Incomplete. The Ravens go for it, but come up empty. And this Steeler defense able to come up with a stop. The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. So he's 3 for 7 throwing the football right now. Not an awful start, but also not the sharpest of starts.
No, I would agree with that. But if you're a confident quarterback and to play that position you have to be, you just act like there's something wrong with the wind currents or something wrong with the ball.
It is not you. Keep throwing. That timing usually develops.
And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A gain of 32 that time. Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. A give to Bell. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. Off the corner. Where'd he come from? Well, I guess he came off the corner, but really nice play.
I like when you're able to pose a question and answer it at the same time. That's exactly where he came from, but it's not something that you normally see. Most of the time, we're thinking about those guys covering pass catchers. In this case, he was a big factor in the run game. No gain.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. They had the incomplete pass on second down. Now they need a big play here. 3rd and 10. This is Bell. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. A Steeler first down on a pickup of 11 yards.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Here comes a first down throw from Rudolph. Throw left side, complete to Smith-Schuster. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. As his guys are in for 6, and the Steelers find a way to stretch their lead.
I know these wide receivers are about flash and dash and high-flying plays, but a good number of them played running back at some point in their career, and that's how they finish off a lot of their big plays, run after the catch.
And this time he finishes off the big play in the end zone. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early. Probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points get that 0 off the board. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. On second down, here's Henry. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It's a pickup of 11 and a Baltimore first down.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. But he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
2 minutes to go here in the first half. Back to Heinz Field after this. Jackson now setting up the screen for Miller. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. And give him 9 yards on the second down screen play.
I wonder what was going through his mind when he got the play call. He just got sacked on the previous play. He knows they're coming after him again. A little bit of guts to stand in there, take the hit, and successfully complete the screen pass. Really well done.
He's airing it out for Williams. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 32. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line.
Well, I tell you, Brandon, this ball's intercepted, but it is 3rd down. So the silver lining is that since this is so far down the field and there wasn't a big run back associated with it, really this kind of works like a punt. It's not an altogether bad result.
They'll start the drive with a carry by Bell. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. That's going to go as a loss of 6, and it'll set him back for second down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Back to throw, Rudolph. Now he's going to throw deep right side. And they went for a big play through the air on second down. Couldn't connect. Now it's 3rd.
You're down 2 touchdowns. You just know defensively you absolutely have to come up with a big play. That nearly was one right there.
Looked over at the sideline immediately after the drop and just saw the dejection. They felt it. They thought he had it. Unfortunately, couldn't come up with it. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things has gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned they're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
On second down, Jackson. He's going to float this one deep right side. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up third.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
The Ravens on third down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This will be 3rd and 6. Jackson, they'll roll him out right, and that one will fall incomplete. Clock here now just under 30 seconds to go in this first half.
Well, the fans should be applauding this defense right now. It's an excellent job. They force a 3 and out, and they should be able to set up their guys with great field position, probably near midfield or better.
Here's Sam Cook now as he's on to punt for Baltimore. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Taking a couple yards shy of midfield. A great return there of 22 yards. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. And where the ball is now, you got the field goal pretty much in the bag. Now do you try for the end zone a couple of times?
I don't think there's any question about it. You might get a gift of 6 points rather than the 3 that you just noted that you feel like you already have.
Got his man. It's caught for a Steelers touchdown. James Washington as the first half is winding down. And the Steelers are going to add on to their lead. Extra point put through by Boswell. And it's now 21-0. Boswell on now to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Raven offense now, ready for another possession. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3 and out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked...
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Sean Davis with a pick. And he will be brought down as time is now run out on this first half of action. So we reach halftime here in the Steel City with the Steelers on top. As we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the 3rd quarter. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. That goes for a gain of 31.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
And that is incomplete. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, 3rd quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. But they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
And now running right through it. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. That'll give him 60 yards receiving now as he's got a first down. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half. just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
It's interesting, partner, that most defenses try and guard the 35-yard line actively because they think the way kickers are nowadays, about a 52-yard field goal, they're kind of giving up points. But you get even deeper into territory, you get into the red zone, they're going to guard it even more, which means more pressure, more blitzing.
Rudolph looking to throw, forced out to his left. Now he'll throw deep left side. And this is caught. He got 29 yards that time. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath.
And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. Le'Veon Bell, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Steelers find a way to stretch their lead. Boswell good with the extra point, and it is 28-0. Boswell on now to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Ravens offense getting ready now for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. Second and 10. Here's Jackson again. And an alley to run. And he lost the football. And it looks like Steeler football. It is.
When I see a play like that, I come back to risk reward. I don't know about you, but is it worth it at that point, whatever you're going to pick up, to either take the hit, and in this case, lose the football?
So should have gone down. I mean, hindsight's always 20/20, but that's the safe play.
You're exactly right. Hindsight's really never wrong, is it? Because you can analyze it, but I think ultimately you got to look at it as a first option, taking care of the ball, getting what you can, and that's it. Don't worry about it anymore.
And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a first down.
It's funny, partner. Le'Veon Bell, when he came out of Michigan State, when I go back and look at my analysis of him and what my grades were for him, thought he was a big-time player, great potential, but I didn't know we were going to get this player. I was used to a big, solid, thick running back, but now I got a full package, a guy who can do everything, as we just saw there, including breaking tackles.
But at the time, second-round pick in 2013, some people probably wishing they'd taken him in the first. Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. Second and 10 now from the 27.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
Back to the air, Rudolph on second down. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. Fifth catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down. The 3 red zone trips, 3 touchdowns so far. They'll look for a 4th on second and goal.
Leopard.
Now Bell. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Le'Veon Bell with touchdown number 20 on the year. And this Steelers offense is running away with this one. Extra point put through by Boswell. And that will extend this big lead. Boswell on now to kick this one away. And And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Ravens offense now, they get set to head back on the field. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
You know, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Now Jackson on 2nd down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. That's good for a Raven first down, 15 yards there.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football. Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
Jackson steps away to his left. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
Now, the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Under pressure again, and down he goes again.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. This is brought in at the 21. 35 yards on the return. Picked up some good blocks as well. And the Steeler offense, they're set up nicely as they take over. They'll try and get the running game going with Bell. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Rudolph buying time to his left. Now he'll turn. And this is taken in at the 5. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Quincy Enunwa, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Steelers offense, they continue to pour it on. Boswell good with the extra point, and the lead will swell by 1 more. Boswell on now to kick this one away. To return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And now here come the Ravens. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. The safety, Terrell Edmonds, picks it. And he will bring this all the way back out to midfield. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the 2nd week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirt.
Yeah, he better figure it out. From the 50, it's Rudolph. Now he's going to let it go deep left side. It's caught inside the 25. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A really good pickup of 28 yards. Now Rudolph on first down. That's going to be caught. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's first and goal. They come out here in the eye. They'll try and run it in with Bell. And he's in. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Le'Veon Bell, his 21st touchdown of the season. And this Steelers offense is running away with this one. And he puts it through. Boswell on now to kick this one away. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The Ravens offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. T.J. Watt, he's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. So following the sack, they'll try to change their fortune here on 2nd and 13. From the gun, Jackson being chased out left. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by the former first-rounder Artie Burns. And he's in for 6 and a Steeler touchdown. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them into the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
Extra point put through by Boswell, and that will extend this big lead. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And they just had that pick six. I guess the only positive maybe of them returning that for a touchdown. This offense right back out onto the field to try to make up for it.
I like that because now it doesn't give them a chance to go to the bench and really settle. You know, to sit there and kind of seethe over the idea that they turned the ball over previously. Right back out there. It's almost like hopping right back on the bike after falling over. See if they can get the ball moving again.
Well, we'll see if they can do it here. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Forced out to his left. Throwing left side, it's complete. And he finally goes down at the 23-yard line. A big play that time for the Ravens. 41 yards. So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
Jackson on first down. And avoids the contact by sliding. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
Green 39. 53, Mike. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
On second down, here's Jackson. Steps away to his left. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's third down.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
Jackson looking to throw on third. And that is incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but, Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is and they're at least trying to finish out strong.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. We've got a lopsided game here. I don't know, Charles, what does the handbook say that we discuss when we've got a game like this in the fourth quarter?
Hold on a second. Let me thumb to the proper page on that. Know what it says?
What?
Let's discuss how we got here. This is a dominant.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
On second down, it's Bell. Big hold to the 30. And finally brought down at the 34-yard line. It'll be a gain of 15 on the play. And that is going to set up a 3rd and 1.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Dancing to his left. That's caught over the middle by Hurst. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. A big gain of 31 on 3rd down. So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. Time for a break. We'll come back and wrap up garbage time after this. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Here's Rudolph. Escaping the pressure right. Wide open receiver complete. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. A good pickup there at 22.
Well, go ahead and throw the ball, man. You got the big lead. You got the clock on your side. Obviously, they don't care much about the feelings of the other team, do they?
Well, I was going to say you better run to the locker room pretty quick after this one.
But right now, maybe they're just looking at it from the fantasy perspective. More points for everyone if they win big.
Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete. And that one goes incomplete. They tried something out of the bag of tricks, but it's incomplete and now 2nd down. Now a handoff. Running left is Bell. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
On 3rd down, here's Bell. And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down.
Okay, no score on that play, but this guy's been a touchdown machine all year long. You know they trust him with the football.
And it's intercepted at the goal line. Read it well, and it's picked. Now they get a 4th quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other, but it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. Buying time to his left. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And nearly another interception. They've been around the ball all game.
Try and get it all back with one big shot right there, but even if successful, that doesn't get them all the way back to where they need to be. Can't totally abandon throwing the ball underneath as well.
After the incompletion, they'll try once more from the 20-yard line on 2nd and 10. Jackson now on 2nd and 10, eluding the pressure right. He's going to let it fly. And now here is another interception. Sean Davis with a pick. And a great return as he gets this all the way down close to the 30-yard line. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used the calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked by Kevon Seymour. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Okay, it's real simple to say from here, but we know that sometimes as a quarterback, you've got to know when to say when and just throw it away. Flushed out to the right, tries to make something out of nothing here, and he winds up floating one downfield that gets intercepted.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Being chased out left. He's got a man, complete. And one of the whistles for a timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Gun! Leopard!
Throwing now, Jackson on 1st down. Forced out to his left. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this is dropped and incomplete. Well, there's a metaphor for how this one is gone as time has run out on this ball game. A big offensive explosion helped lead